Hello, everyone. We are going to talk to you guys about the coronavirus. I know you've heard a lot about it from your teacher already, and we're going to focus specifically on the immune and the respiratory system with you guys. And first, we're going to go over like some as brief as possible overview of the immune and respiratory systems, and then go into how coronavirus affects both of them. So, just as an introduction, we are USC Interaxon. We're a student-run organization from USC, and we go to different high schools, middle schools, and elementary schools and teach students about neuroscience and STEM and try to get them interested and excited about higher education.
All right. Hi, guys. My name is Bijan. And in relation to all of this, obviously, is our immune system. So the body's immune system is basically our defense mechanism against invading pathogens or foreign invaders. This includes things like bacteria, parasites, viruses, things like fungi as well. And it's helpful to distinguish two branches of the immune system. The first one being the innate immune system. And this is the immune system that you guys are born with, and can kind of be thought as like a generic, broad range of responses that occur to all antigens. This is why the innate immune response is also known as the nonspecific response, because it includes responses and cells that are the same for all antigens or foreign invaders. And like all cells of the immune system, the cells of the innate immune system are designed to protect you from foreign pathogens, and this is accomplished by marking these cells for destruction or destroying these cells themselves. The other branch of the immune system is known as the acquired immune system or adaptive immune system. This is the immune system that you guys build up as you grow and develop. So when you are exposed to a particular antigen, the acquired immune response involves producing antibodies, and these particular cells called memory lymphocytes that go on to mount an attack against that particular pathogen. And the unique quality of the acquired immune system is that when you come into contact with the same pathogen again, your body will recognize it and defend against it quickly because it developed these memory lymphocytes and particularly antibodies against that infector. So after you come in contact with an antigen, your body holds on to a store of these memory lymphocytes to prevent a subsequent infection by the same pathogen. So these cells can be kind of thought of as like a reserve army that are primed and like ready to go whenever a second encounter occurs, and is often why we develop lifelong immunity to particular viral diseases. And interestingly enough, vaccines take advantage of the qualities of the acquired immune system by imitating an infection. So your body produces these antibodies and memory lymphocytes to protect you from infections from like things like the measles or chickenpox. So you never have to experience the debilitating effects of those diseases.
Hi guys, I'm Nadia. So within the innate immune system, the key actors are white blood cells, which are also known as leukocytes. And what leukocytes are going to do is they're going to help your body protect itself against infection by engulfing and destroying invaders, like what we talked about earlier. And there are different types of leukocytes that are going to help accomplish this. So one type are neutrophils, which specifically attack against bacteria and fungi. Another type are basophils, whose activity actually causes inflammation. So like if you get a cut and if it starts to swell up and become warm, that's a sign of inflammation and basophils at work. And another type are eosinophils, which attack parasites like worms. and their activity can actually cause allergies. And the acquired immune system, which is also known as the adaptive immune system, has two parts to it, which are B cells and T cells. And what B cells and T cells are going to do is they're going to work together to fight against infection in a specialized way rather than just a general infection route. And through this way, they're going to be able to remember how to specifically defend the body against a specific type of pathogen or invader. So B cells actually have two types to them. The first type are memory B cells. And when they come into memory B cells are notable for the fact that they actually can remember one type of invader. And if they come into contact with that invader again, they're going to differentiate into plasma cells. And plasma cells are going to secrete specific antibodies that work against that invader. So an example of this would be like if you get the chicken pox. If you get the chicken pox, but you've been vaccinated against it, or if you've had chicken pox before, your plasma cells are going to be able to differentiate or are going to be able to secrete antibodies that are going to protect your body against the chicken pox and prevent you from getting sick. And within T cells, you also have cytotoxic T cells, which destroy infected cells and abnormal cells. So an example of an abnormal cell would be like a cancerous cell. And the other type of T cells are helper T cells, which secrete molecules known as cytokines that are going to help activate and assist the rest of your immune response against a specific invader.
So one of the reasons that coronavirus is unique is that it's a novel virus, which means that it's a new virus that people have not encountered before right now. So there's no vaccine or natural immune response to protect people from it, which means if you get it, you will probably get sick. And this is especially important for people who are immunocompromised, which means that their immune system is weaker than a healthy person's. So they're more susceptible to getting a serious infection when exposed to COVID-19, since their immune system cannot fight the infection as well. So many of the symptoms of the serious illness can also be attributed to your immune system overreacting to the virus and causing too much inflammation. And this can lead to pneumonia, which we will talk about later. Now, let's talk about the respiratory system briefly. So you breathe air through your nose and mouth once you inhale, and then it goes down your windpipe and then divides, and then through two bronchial tubes as shown in the picture on the right. The bronchial tubes then divide into smaller passages called bronchioles in the lungs. And at the end of these bronchioles, there are air sacs called alveoli. So these alveoli move the oxygen from the air into the bloodstream.
Hey guys, I'm Max. Back to the respiratory system, this oxygen-filled blood goes to the left side of your heart, where it's then pumped out to the rest of your body. Any CO2, which is one of the body's waste products that enters the bloodstream from the body, is taken to the lungs, where it crosses back into the alveoli and switches places with the oxygen. And this is what we exhale out. Obviously, all these processes work best if there's no extra inflammation or excess mucus in your lungs. COVID-19, however, can attack the upper and lower respiratory tract. And the upper respiratory tract, an infection leads to symptoms like a cough, a runny nose, and sore throat. But COVID-19 can also attack cells in your lungs and is thought to damage the epithelial cells that line your airways and the lining of the alveoli. In severe cases of the virus, the inflammation of the lungs can cause the alveoli to fill with fluid, which makes it really difficult to breathe and causes pneumonia. These are the symptoms of a lower respiratory tract infection, which is more serious than those of the upper respiratory tract infection. As you can see in this picture, one of the person's lungs looks cloudy on this little x-ray, because this really indicates that there's some fluid that's really accumulated in there and that they have pneumonia.
All right, so I hope you guys learned some important information from this lecture. And obviously we don't want to end on a sad note, but we know that this can be a hard time for everyone, and just we want you all to know that just by staying home, you're helping stop the spread. So please stay safe, everyone.